First game of the round is an interesting one here on Draftstars. Your Thursday night 15,000 guaranteed prize pool between Eagles and the Melbourne Storm. And we see Munster's out in this one here. So Pap's back, which is pretty cool. So he's back at fullback. We see Meaney go to the 6th position. And if we're looking at Pap here, he's our most expensive fullback. The main issue with him, I think, is obviously first game back, coming back from a leg injury, which was pretty substantial. He's been out for a long time. I doubt he'll be kicking goals. Nick Meaney's in that team, and he'll be able to kick, I believe, from that 6th position. So you lose that little bit of goal kicking. First game back being the most expensive guy in this game against a pretty formidable opponent in Manly. I think it's going to be fairly close with Munster being out. It's going to be fun to see if Hughes can really carry this squad along with Harry and Pab. Obviously him being back, but he'll obviously be ready to go fitness-wise, in terms of his body, but fitness-wise and just feel of the game, how's he going to go? So it'll be very interesting. A close game, I'm feeling in this one. This is where I think you can probably select Ruben Garrick at the 18,500 mark. He's been obviously in scintillating form. The last 5 weeks he's had a 51 as his lowest game. So Ruben's a great guy to pick in this one. I think some other guys you could potentially pick are Nick Meaney at 6. Obviously a few more tackles are going to be in this game. He's been averaging 40 at fullback position, so he's going to be a little bit more of a gamble, just at 6 there. We haven't seen too much of him in that position and scoring really well in that position, so definitely a gamble. I think Olam is an interesting one, coming off a really great game on the weekend for PNG there. He had that lovely try assist, and I think you can see anywhere between a 30 and a 45 from Justin this week, with him needing to step up a little bit. Obviously with Nick being on his side, not sure if he's going to get the perfect amount of balls. So that's something to think about as well. Cole has been scoring really well also the last 3 weeks, especially 42 has been his lowest. Obviously got some game time in international round as well. So I think Kohler could come out and have a good one at 11,360. And obviously a couple other guys. Tuipulotu has been solid with those couple of 30s the last few weeks. And then you can go a bit cheaper and have a bit of a punt on a few of those guys if you like. But I'm going to stay clear of those bottom feeders. All right, so move to the halves hookers. There's 4 options. DCE, Harry, Grant, Jerome Hughes, and Lockie Croker. Lockie, I'm just not seeing the attacking stats this week, so somewhere between 45 and 55 at almost 17,000. Pretty solid. Jerome's going to be doing most of the work at number 7. So coming off a 68 last game, I think he can get anywhere between that 50 to 70 this week. He has that, that range in him with 3 scores above 68, which is nice. And you get him for 17.3, obviously a lot cheaper than what you get Harry and DCE. On Harry's side of things, I think he's going to have to step up and play big minutes in this week. You've got Brandon Smith playing 13, Joshy King in the middle there. Harry at 19.5, I think he can get something in this over 60 bracket for him. He had 3 lighter games in between. He's had some issues with his groin, obviously, so I feel like this might be the day that he can come out and really dominate. And if you want to go for those 2 over a DCE, who is really just your most consistent guy. He had a 90 last week. Last game, and did really well. Coming off not a great game in Origin. Obviously, their team got spanked, but he's someone that's going to be super consistent. You can get anywhere up to that 90 mark, and 51 is going to be your lowest for DCE. 23.5. If you can spend a little bit lighter in other positions, I think you can go for DCE. If not, maybe it's like going for Harry and Hughes or Harry and Lockie Croker, for example. Because the forwards, I see a little bit of value in some cheaper guys. Obviously, Olakwatu is going to be your best guy to select in terms of bang for your buck and a chance to score really high. But I think there's a little bit of value in someone like Jake Trbojevic, who I think can get around that 50 mark, pretty solidly playing big minutes, and then he'll want to do really well through the middle here and get a nice win up against Storm. When you have that opportunity when a Munster's out, for example, you want to take advantage of that. If we're going a bit lighter now, I think you got guys like Paseka, who's been super consistent. Anywhere between a 35 and a 43 the last 4 weeks, which has been nice. Getting close to that 40 mark for a 12,500 guy. He's perfect. You've got Andrew Davey, who continues to start at 11,700. You get 38 as his lowest in the last 3. Very consistent around that 40 mark. And Tui Kamakamika is the one that has that opportunity to score a try, which he did last week. But anywhere around that 40 mark as a consistent basis for someone 11,400, I think he's a must-have this week. In terms of other guys, you got Brandon Smith as well, but he's still scoring mid-20s, so I'd be staying away. And that's as far as I'd really look. Sipley can have your big game here and there. Obviously, one of them there. But I'd be sticking him in around that 11 to 12,000 mark with some potential if you have some extra cash to go up here. And if you want to go lighter and go 2 of the halves hookers who have that big opportunity to go big, to go and score big, then that would be the way I'll be going this week. So hope you took a lot out of that video and you set up your teams ready to go for tonight. Best way, if you are new here, is to jump in the description, hit that sign up link, and we'll get you cracking with Draftstars. Hope you enjoyed it again. See you later.